clients are under a lot of pressure to catch the moment of AI. Investors and board members trying to maintain a competitive advantage right now. The big gap here is that no one exactly is clear on the outcomes. There's just an overload of information, creating somewhat of an analysis paralysis. Another thing it can do is really become a thought partner with you and make you look at things from potentially different perspectives. I know I went to a recent media event where a journalist from Fortune said that one of his primary uses of AI is to test his assumptions. So I'm Cassie Gonzalez. I'm the AI practice lead and a director here at Team Lewis.
US,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
US.
I'm Danielle Malvesti. I'm an SVP out of our US office based in Boston. We are at our London studio and really excited to dive into AI, more specifically, and the challenges that our clients are facing and maybe the opportunities ahead.
Yeah, we can, really dive into not only what exactly everyone is doing with AI currently, but really understanding what they want to use AI for. And that seems to be the big question across the board, especially as people are really increasing investment in this. And at one point, there's going to have to be an understanding of what that outcome looks like.
All right, so Cassie, we are immersed in the AI space. We're working with a lot of our clients, and I think we hear them kind of questioning how they start to use AI. What kind of questions are you hearing, I think, from clients?
Well, I think clients are under a lot of pressure to catch the moment of AI. They're getting directives from their CMOs, who are getting directives from their CEOs, and that chain of directives goes all the way up to investors and board members trying to maintain a competitive advantage right now. But what I'm seeing as the big gap here is that no one exactly is clear on the outcomes. Why do they want to use AI? What are the reasons, what are the things that they're really looking to improve or streamline with the use of this tool? And they just see it as this opportunity, but they don't know how to capture it or how to, let alone measure it.
And it's probably quite I think it's quite intimidating too, because it's such a new tool that has such vast capabilities that almost the possibilities become endless. And so then trying to figure out, well, how do I put it into use maybe becomes really hard to connect those dots. I don't know if you've experienced the same with your clients.
Definitely, I think there's just an overload of information, which people were already experiencing just with the way that we consume media, the way that we constantly have different voices telling us what direction to go, and now we have this additional layer, which we discussed in our recent event that we had, where there's so much information that it's actually creating somewhat of an analysis paralysis.
Yeah. And so many tools.
So many tools.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, even from the seat that I think we sit in, right, trying to leverage AI in our own workflows, just the different number of tools that are available, that are not talking to one another, that are maybe hosting different parts of data, or that you're trying to hodgepodge, together. I was listening to a podcast last week, and I found this fascinating because this is not how I use AI at all. But somebody said that a lot of people take screenshots off their phone and then go to, pick their favorite LLM and ingest the screenshot there for it to either keep tabs or do analysis. And that's obviously not connected into maybe a different, AI tool that they're using when they get into the office or, as they're trying to manage their personal life. So yeah, I think it's fascinating how people are trying to really figure out, so many things all at once. Then back to your point of analysis paralysis, like, where do I start? What do I do?
Yeah, I think it's important that, when we think about AI, we don't think about it one-dimensionally. A lot of people, when they think about it, they think of just generative AI. They're like, oh great, we can create content, we can spin up a bunch of things and work faster. Whereas another thing it can do is really become a thought partner with you and make you look at things from potentially different perspectives. I know I went to a recent media event where a journalist from Fortune said that one of his primary uses of AI is to test his assumptions. And so a lot of people are doing that, like you're mentioning, with uploading screenshots. You have a piece of information and you can say, I think this is, a result of, you can like lay out your thinking within the AI, and you can ask it to challenge you. You can ask it like, am I thinking about this the right way? Are there other things I could be considering? Just so that we're thinking from broader perspectives.
Yeah, and we had a really good event last night, because we're currently both in our London headquarters, to talk about really data and specifically about the LLMs, or pick your favorite AI tool, of not maybe just taking the response at face value. So I really like the notion of maybe reframing it as this isn't, more of a thought partner, to your point. Like, what can I take from what it's spit back that helps maybe point my thinking in a different direction, but not maybe taking the response at face value as, oh, well, maybe what I initially thought was wrong, and now I have to use this instead.
Yeah, and a lot of the criticisms of AI are talking about how it's reducing the amount of critical thinking that people are doing. I would like to argue that it actually, if you're using it correctly, you should be doing more critical thinking. It's not to think for you and make you think less. It's actually so that it'll do some of the legwork for you, but you very much still have to look at the output, validate it with your own knowledge and context that you have, because at the end of the day, the AI is not pulling from real knowledge that it has, it's just pulling from examples that it's pulling from other places. So you have to go in and actually be the expert and say, is this correct? And how do I use this information now? Because it's not going to do all those steps for you.
All right, Cassie, let's go back to the beginning. We were, pretty much when you and I were catching up, we were talking a lot about AI enablement and really trying to close the gap, I think, for clients, that are trying to figure out, okay, how do I start to implement AI when there's all these different possibilities? So I'm curious, maybe with the clients you work with, where are you seeing that opportunity?
So I think the first thing to understand is that every single client, every organization is going to be different. It's really impossible to take, or you shouldn't be taking the same formula and saying it worked for this client, so it's going to work for this one. It also takes, a bit of investigation and a true interest in understanding that client's needs. And a lot of times, the most common connection that people are trying to make with PR and communications is a connection to revenue. And historically, that's been very, very hard to do. So with the use of AI, we're really able to kind of dig in with them and think about, okay, what are we doing now? How do we make that connection stronger to what we're doing now? And essentially, what are you trying to achieve, not at a PR level, not at a communications level, but as an organization?
Yeah, so you're talking really from a measurement perspective,
yeah.
Maybe stretching beyond just, I'll say, vanity metrics or, the surface level metrics that I think people default to. It's that there's an opportunity to really tie it to broader business objectives if you have a tool that, is enabled to do just that for your business.
Right, and I think it's going to expose a lot of gaps in, within internal knowledge of clients. That's where silos have to be broken down within client organizations, to make sure that they fully understand their own goals within their organization.
Yeah. I'll add to that, really based on a lot of my experience in the past. I've worked with many large enterprise organizations, and there's a few problems that have manifested or common challenges that have manifested. And I think up until today, there's really never been an easy solve for those, right? It's always been a lot of manual intervention. So things like, I've worked with a lot of new CEOs stepping into the role, and they're trying to figure out, well, how do I communicate effectively with my employees? How do I communicate in a way that is going to instill trust and confidence in what I'm saying? Did I say everything I really wanted to say? And of course, there's many other audiences that applies to, right? For a new CEO, maybe their board, their investors, their extended leadership team that they're trying to win over. And so, I'm really excited by our training for trust from Marketing Sidekick, because it's going to enable effectively leadership readiness Similarly, that same thread I think could apply to, I used to work with a lot of learning and development teams, and they would always say, well, we're rolling out, new effectively working values or new offerings across our business. And we want to make sure our employees are, armed with all the information, that they're delivering it accurately in market and to our most important prospects and clients. And so again, it's really, really exciting to see, Marketing Sidekick, that pretty picture up behind us, that we have a suite of tools that can support some of these broader challenges. And so, I get excited about those types of challenges because I think, us helping clients connect the dots, that AI can be a solution to solve those types of challenges, not just, helping from a generative AI, PowerPoint creation perspective, which is still important. And if you're not using it for that, then you should. But yeah, I think there's just so much potential and really refreshing to see that, we have a solution that can support our clients in that way.
Yeah, and I think, it really comes down to people are going to have to start really talking to each other and understanding each other, which seems like such a wild concept, in the landscape of communications, but it'll show internal communications are becoming more important to make sure that everyone is on the same page with what they're supposed to be measuring with AI, what those expected outcomes are. And to your point, Training for Trust will make sure that communicators and leaders can communicate effectively and that they're getting a clear message across versus, essentially playing a game of telephone.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. I saw a report that came out of HubSpot. I think it was over the last couple of weeks, their State of Marketing report. They had some really interesting stats in there that companies are now trying to optimize on a weekly basis, and that not just from a performance marketing perspective, but even into their brand positioning, just of how crowded the market has become and how quickly the landscape continues to change. So my background in strategy and thinking about brand positioning, I just think that's gonna, do you have the right tool that's helping to scan the competitive landscape? And again, not tell you do this or do that, but help you get the right inputs quickly to make decisions and use, your judgment and quite frankly, your taste to point your business, on a quarterly basis, which is insane. I mean, companies used to do brand positioning exercises like every 5 years, and it used to take, a year, depending on the size of the company, to figure that out. So to think that now companies are considering that on a quarterly basis is just fascinating. But then two, if you are changing your positioning that frequently, okay, now that needs to pull down into sales enablement, employee narrative, your market narrative, and do you have the right tools to help you, respond at speed? And so again, I get so excited about Marketing Sidekick, quite frankly, because it has all of that capability there. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see, especially with the clients that we work with, are they ready to start moving at that speed,
When they're thinking about speed, it's because the technology is moving that fast. Every single week, something new is coming out. And so if you're not able to evolve with that technology, then you're going to get left behind. And, to the point that you're making where companies are having to rethink their positioning, we're not talking about a complete change from what they are at their core. It's more of just they need to continue to evolve that messaging, massaging it more, understanding the dynamic environment that they're operating in, and being able to change with it.
All right, Cassie, we could probably talk for many more minutes on this, and maybe we'll get the opportunity to do that at one of our other studios. But we covered a lot of interesting points today, and hopefully this is really helpful for those, early journeys, any part of their journey with considering how AI integrates into their organization, maybe where to start from assessing your problems, maybe finding a partner that can, I always say, see, above the trees, because I know it's really hard to try to figure out how to apply, AI into your own organization. And what else? What else did we talk on?
Well, I mean, I do think that some companies, especially maybe some of the more legacy, larger companies, are going to have to do a bit of soul searching and really understand, what outcomes they're trying to achieve with AI and what does success look like? And more importantly, how do we get all of our teams to align on the same idea of success and what they can get out of using these AI tools? Otherwise, it's just not going to be effective. We've seen so much investment essentially be thrown out the window because people are just using it without that. So direction, strategy, and having a clear vision for where we are now, a realistic vision of where we are now, and also where we're going to be with more concrete outcomes is going to be absolutely critical. So excited to continue working in this space and helping companies navigate through that.
Okay.
Cool.